His face didn't have any expression. The weak will be angry at being provoked by others. For example, Tran Tin Quan. Because of weakness, self-deprecation. I can't hear half the ridicule of others. But with strong people, the voice of the ants is too small. It doesn't get into their ears. He might lose his temper because of a bunch of bugs. It's just that you can be pitiful. It's for their stupidity. But Zhang Yi will not act. Outside the synagogue hall, the enemy must have been trying to provoke them too. Then he retaliated in a cruel way. That way, even if the high-altitude blizzard. Blame. You can also blame the mutants. In Tianhai City, squinting fluid dilation, there is a pure intention to kill. He smiled softly. Zhu didn't say that. It's entirely based on people volunteering. How do we do it? You don't need to care. It's so embarrassing. Then tell the others next to us to go. Zhang Yi did not turn his head. Turn around and walk toward the apartment in the distance. Min and others laughed and laughed. Even these kind of words come out of my mouth. It's a deadly laugh. The nation in front of you. You just hide and be a black turtle. As such, there is dignity. Tianjin city delegates to this place. I want to tell you, now the Tianhai power has been abandoned. Not as early as giving to others. Red Pepper, Tran Tinquan and others, waiting for the release. I can't believe Zhang Yi isn't angry at all. After being ridiculed like that, leave. They are naive. The mutants of the city. The great city of Z is also naive, Theo. Angry browsing says. You just need to open your mouth. Meanwhile, Zhang Yi thought silently. It's a bunch of hungry insects. I'll give you a glance. I want to step-by-step kill you. Thought then, Zhang Yi said. Excuse me, we're going first. He also urged everyone in his group. Let's go. It's not too early. 6 possible salary approval and general view. Fat with others. Have fun. Follow Zhang Yi. Working style of translation school. They've understood for a long time. Just by a few, your words can make him angry. I can see it on my face without anger. The other forces were surprised. I can stand it. Being ridiculed in front of you like that. Whether it's incompetent or too patient. I saw that Zhang's group had left. The sky is in a hurry too. Xiao Hong and the people of Tran Tin Quan, I understood something. They stare at the city's mutants. Die Zack City. Then quietly turn around and leave. So let's go too. Pink pepper training. If you are late, you'll not catch up. The angel waved his hand loudly. Slow down and play with us. He spits a spit on the ground. Left hand held tight. Cowards have no guts. What the hell are they? The leader of the spy agency. Trying to smile and say. Their leader looks weak, doesn't he? Such a person, how can you lead a group of people? Is a leader. Must have enough dignity and ability. If you can't protect the land and his subordinates, who can serve you? In the eyes of the Red, Trong Yi's way of working, it's a sign of weakness. Leader of the third power, Tran Luong Ngok, his eyes flashed dodgy. Laughing like that is not what we mean. The Red Cross and the Red Cross looked at each other. Then everyone smiles maliciously. They were able to confirm that. Current situation of Tianjin City. What's it going to be like? Million weapons base. Used to be one of 5 great power of Tianhai City. Its leader is just a gamma-level mutant. He was beaten by Min. In Dai Zak City. This level is at most the captain's level. While they come here deliberately to cause trouble, it's actually to confirm the status of other organizations in Tianhai City. But the result is, they have carelessly uttered insults. And the Kier didn't even dare to argue. Ran away tragically. Listen to your voice. This is a great opportunity. I laughed and glanced at these 2 people. Very rare. There's only 3 of us that get together like this. Or find somewhere to have a drink together. How to talk. To see Min and Tran Luong and Gok happy. I agree with the Red Cross proposal. Okay, no problem. Come on. They all know the intentions of the enemy. Jiangnam area now. There's interference from outside forces. And the suburbs. The sky is. The great powers were involved in a foreign military sweep. In Linhai City. There will be no one now. I'm interested in what happens in Tianhai City. They're not all signed up for that mission. The main purpose is to eat the fatty meat of this Tianhai City. Don't look at Shu, speaking in a righteous voice. Don't allow them to fight internally. As long as they occupy the territory of the Tianhai City, there's a lot of ways to explain it. For example, helping the fraternal city protect its security has the goal of supporting backward poor areas. Just create merit first. Then the Jiangnan area will not say anything. Who speaks up for the weak? To move ahead of the headquarters. Towards the apartment. On the way, he wants to see the school again. Easy way to meet Deng the Magic. Then if there's no work, we'll return to the city of Thien Hai. The doctor saw through the thought. In the hearts of the birds of this great city of Zak. Then, surely those guys thought that. The forces of the Tianhai City are cowardly. It's easy to bully, so the intention is to act. In times of confusion, the Chinese suspect Kier. The mind of the whole neighborhood is on that side. They're even more apt to strike. Until then, it's going to give them a big surprise. My son and Tran Tin Quang followed me. The static ceiling is constantly staring. Go ahead. I dare not open my mouth, but in my mind, he's still a little unhappy. Because of the way Zhang Yi works, I was humiliated in front of them. Fuck you anyway. He is now also the head of Tianhai City. I can't even argue. The relationship of Red Pepper and Trong Yip, it's a little closer. Even if you've helped me once before. Besides, she's a woman who has a gender advantage. If you open your mouth, he is hard to blame. So you step up and try. He tried to smile and say, Trong Loi is. We have no opinion. Not the way you work. But just now, you don't have to treat them that way. How do you treat the same person? Red Pepper said. It looks so weak. You obviously don't have to. Take a good look at the red wine. He put both hands in his pocket. Take a look at the scenery behind you. In the eyes carry a little contempt. So what do you think I should do? Let us fight with them. Then punished, violation of management regulations of snowstorms in Ha. Or argue back right away. Standing there arguing loudly with them. Like a woman in the market. There are so many of them. Can you argue back and forth? Shake your head. Don't do anything that doesn't make sense. Red training said again. Like this, people will see. Our Tianhai city is weak. Easy to bully. The cold laugh epidemic. Haha, it's not my fault. Static ceiling drilling behind burgundy tie. Hurry and put your head down. It's clear that the epidemic is referring to him. This sentence choked my throat. You dare not ask any more. I can only bow my head reluctantly and tell you not to be angry. That's all I ask. I said, back off to the side. The Red Cross wants to say something more. But Zhang Yi was a little impatient. I've been working all my life. I need to explain it to you later. I went to the apartment and went to the hospital myself. The others also returned to their rooms. Everyone is worried in their heart, especially the large base organization. They're worried about the situation in Tianjin. Later. A large bases, they are no longer as powerful as they once were. Even in the face of the oppression of a heterogeneous organization, city power, Die Zack City, now they can only endure. It's a little hard to hear, so even if the three of them come together, it's not as good as a house before. We can only rely on the translation. If not, the city of Die Zack City, to pull to, or other power, looking at the resources of the city of Tianhai hit, they will definitely lose 7. So right now, they have to consider their path. Figure Heaven says with red pepper training. This is not like the old days. We can't rely too heavily on the translation. Not by taking this opportunity, reflect on the future ahead. Red pepper practice nodding. You are right. It's different on the side of the epidemic. Everyone gathered in a room. Close the window. Salary was the first to speak up. Ask Trong Duck. When do we act? Advocates are not easy to bully. Someone else raped him in the head. Maybe he doesn't care. It didn't explode because it wasn't the right time. Zhang Yi, sitting on the sofa, heard that. The corners of the lips slightly curled up. It's not us who take the initiative. We have to wait for them first. Salary can't help but frown. The others, I was curious about Zhang's decision. Wait for them to strike first. So, it's not going to make us passive. Or, look at everyone. So tell me, how should we do it? The name of the fat that talks carefree now has the courage to stand up. He gritted his teeth and said, those bastards are hateful. It's outrageous, humiliating us in front of so many people. I can't help it anymore. In my opinion, let's kill them. On their way back to the big city. From Fat looking towards the epidemic, only by the power of the old man. Killing them is not as easy as turning back the SAO hand. The translation is Bacco. Do you understand their power? This is a fat word. How does he? We can understand the power of the dysfunctional organization, Die Z City. The translator asked again, do you understand my power? The word fat is about to say something more, but seeing Zhang Yi's teasing eyes, he's wise to keep his mouth shut. Others also look at the translation. Everyone wants to hear what he does next. Seriously, tell them. As a family, I tell everyone the truth. The first is my power. Has not yet reached the level of non-fake origin. Even the annexation of abilities, it's not completely. Lake situation. Her cause was flawed at first. This, it may have something to do with her aptitude. So don't think that now there's already a power supply. In fact, were only seen as stronger at the delta level. Also, don't underestimate anyone. You have seen the power of the Holy Spirit. He can beat Chen with ease, the leader of the other two forces. I'm afraid it's no less than him. Taking the initiative to fight first without understanding the capabilities of the enemy, which is a very stupid thing. And we're going to kill them without knowing anything about them. It's not blind pride. These words of Zhang Yi make everyone in your heart. It's a very different thought. I don't understand why, by instinct, they all think that the power of the plague has been reached. At least it's close to the level of a non-musketeer. Previously, the destructive power of it left them too impressed. So much so that they think you can also use power alone. Destroy, arbitrarily killing the subordinates by squeezing the cylinder. But listening now, it's not like that at all. Chu Kai Ni is very smart. She's aware of the problem. Actually speaking, then calculate the power of Zhang Yi at the top of everyone. But we're just analyzing the situation. That deduces this. I can't even figure out what their abilities are. So persist in attacking. They attack first to kill. It's not a wise way to do it. To give a nod of praise, he looked at the fat man and said, "Both of you are angry. It makes me lose my mind. Remember what I said. In that period of time, want to survive, you have to stay awake at all times." Explanation of the translation chapter. Make everyone believe. That's also his working style. Absolutely not because of pride. That put themselves in danger. There's something invincible about it. You never thought so before. He eventually died at the hands of Zhang. You are inferior to her. And he nodded his head, yes. The police will not make the same mistake. He continued. The rabbit fighting lion has to go all out. People don't have to worry. To be angry, they run to find them and reveal their holes. Is equal to, in our area, to fight a battle. She said and smiled. In his eyes glowed the light of intelligence. Wisdom. Actually, he soon had a plan to deal with them. He laughed and said, "The old man. I know right away. You will not let them go easily." Shrug your shoulders. I can't say we didn't let them go. It's that they will find their own way to death. He slowly recounted his plan. Their purpose is to appear unruly and arrogant, just to explore the hidden power of the Tianhai city. Now Chen's still drill is beaten. We're ridiculed, but we choose to be patient. It will make them feel. Power in the Tianhai city is easily reproached. So it won't be long. They are certain we'll choose to invade the Tianhai city. The smile in her eyes was even clearer. In our own territory. It's not that we're more likely to wipe them out. After Zhang Yi finished speaking, everyone in the room was stunned. That's great. It's still your measure that works. I was just pissed off by them. Just thinking about fighting them. In our own land fighting. The trap is waiting for them to find themselves. That way we'll have more wins. But the loss of 7 people will also be less. Everyone is very impressed by the wisdom of Zhang Yi, especially in his calm mind. Must know that it's not that AI is humiliated in front of people, but still retain the clarity. 6, of course, curiously blinked at Zhang Yi, said, "If so, I didn't explain it clearly." With red pepper, they... Smiling lip enlargement. There were a lot of people outside just now. How can I say my plan is out? Wait until you get back to Shanghai City. I'll tell them. Let them coordinate this action. Let them remember for a while. Let them know where their power is. And AI is their biggest asset. Before that, the city of Tianhai was so peaceful, there is no enemy invasion. 3 large bases, although willing to honor Trong Yip as the master, but still more or less hesitant. I don't want to give all the power to Zhanji. This time there is a threat. From the city's alchemy organization. They'll understand how important the campaign is to them. This is a wake-up call that makes them more obedient. 6. And when he heard this, the pestilence of the earth began to rise. Nut Tiger is great CA think long-term heirlooms. Dildo rubbing her head. Okay, everyone's busy today. Rest a little early. Everybody salute Zhang Yi and leave. Chu Kai Ni said, so let's go. I'll take a break. The doctor also tells you to investigate. That's right, for the people of the other 3 powers. Nothing happened during this time. Don't leave the door. People in other areas. I will wait to see the play of the City of Heaven. Don't let people see you as a monkey. Before going, Zhang Yi wanted to meet Deng. And adult polygamy. He called the school district attorney. But he said, he's busy at the battle center. The translator asked, is it because of the romantic organization in Linhai City? Particle field bar reminder translation. This is more serious than we thought. But I can't remind you anymore. Otherwise, it will cross the line. In general, you decide to take it yourself. Surprised to think. This mission looks very dangerous. His friendship with the school district. Not very deep. I just owe him a favor. That he could remind me of this. It's already good. Zhang Yi said thank you for understanding. He also understood that. He told them to go on a mission. I want them to be pioneers. We must first investigate the enemy's position. And then, we've sent the elite of the blizzard out. This way of doing things can't be said to be wrong. There are often enemies on the battlefield. Hang up the phone. He plans to stay out of sight for the time being. If the high level of the blizzard actually asked him to do it, you must provide enough information, intelligence, and combat resources. This translation chapter. I've never fought a battle without preparation. Never fought a battle, either, without being sure of the win. I can't see you at the moment. The translation is sure. God is also busy. Although SAO is currently in the snowstorm, there's only 2 of their investigation teams. That Trong translated. There is no way to contact the psychic. I decided to wait a few more days. If no one comes looking for him, Zhang Yi will return to the city of Tianhai, though the snow didn't ask them to leave. Within how many days? Tired of sleeping for a while. Just as Zhang Yi predicted. What happened in the Hall of Heaven? That kiss quickly spread around the world. The power of 12 cities. For a while, the Tianhai city became a laughingstock. People make fun of you after dinner. These words are hard. It's very annoying to hear. But everyone received a reminder from Zhang Yi. Choose to ignore these words. They don't even want to leave the apartment. Stay in the room. Like these words, it causes a big earthquake in a person's heart. That person is the current leader of the Million Vu base. Ceiling static drilling. Because that day, and almost everyone, they all saw him beaten up. Now his honor is ruined. even those under the evidence of the $1 million base that he carries with him. He also has a wonderful attitude towards him. After some thought, he finally made a decision. He came to the front door and rang the doorbell. "Who is it?" "It's me." To see Tran still related to. In my mind for a long time, I thought he wanted me to avenge him. Open the door and say a few words to get him out. I can't believe that after Chen came into the room. He knelt to the ground, kneeling down in front of Zhang Yi. I was quite surprised by this action. Tran Tin Kwong bent his head close to the ground, very sincerely said, "Mr. Trong Yip, please take over the $1 million base." The movement is a bit surprising, after hearing Chen's words clearly. He knows why he did that. Dilation looks ceiling static aesthetic drill. He understands. Sooner or later, $1 million weapon base in his hands will also perish. For the $1 million weapon base to exist, he must rely on my strength. The movement showed no attitude. Silently, calculation is lost when taking over the $1 million weapon base. There's nothing in terms of loss. Except for one thing, the people in the $1 million base. He has to worry about their lives. Although it's a little annoying, but the $1 million VU base can provide for itself. So there's no, what's the big deal? Just make sure they will not be attacked by other forces. About the benefits, then the plague can completely control the $1 million weapon base. There are more than 1,000 people there. Although the number of fighters is small, but the rest of us, they're all maritime professionals. Catch. If one day he needs to sail, these people will be very helpful. After a thought, the company believes that this business is very profitable. It's just that he couldn't agree so freely. Zhang Yi said nothing. Chen is still kneeling on the ground, feeling restless. Maybe the campaign does not value the $1 million VU base, SAO, to speak fairly. Their groups are all elite. Supplies are also not lacking. It's strange not to take us seriously. But now one can rely on him alone. Zhang Yi's voice cracked. "Stand up and tell me. What do you think about this?" Tran Still Kwong heard this and breathed in his heart. That's good. There's no rejection, there's persuasion. Come and sit down on the living room sofa. Chen Still Kwong heard that and raised his head. He got a little nervous and walked over. Tran Tin Kwong sat opposite Trong Yi. In the heart, he soon thought of a word about his plans. We've been in the fleet of the millionaire base for 7 years. There's a lot of love for this fleet. Now the captain is dead. We can't help but carry the responsibility of base leadership. Our power is not enough. Now it's because of my mistake that makes people despise the $1 million base. In times of chaos like this, there will definitely be people. Look at this piece of pork base $1 million VU. Maybe they'll invade this place soon. Tran Still Kwong clasped his hands, is laying on the knee. Now we're not able to protect ourselves. If the base is destroyed, I don't know the brothers in the fleet. What fate will you suffer? So I hope Tang Epidemic First can replace me as the leader of the army. Protect your brothers on the base. Nod your head. What you say seems right. Once the outside enemy invades, what will they do if they take over the $1 million base? No one can know in advance. If you meet a sadist, it's even possible, will carry out mass slaughter. At the $1 million base, it's not just soldiers and technical workers, but also their whole family. The weak old women and children. Once invaded. People from other forces. Are you raising these people? Don't bet on human nature. There will be no good results. Tran Tin Quang observed Zhang Yi's attitude in a meticulous way. He knows, although the campaign was brutal on the battlefield, being cruel unintentionally, sinister tricks. But he won't kill innocent people indiscriminately. If you let him become the owner of the million-weapon base, the people at the base are safe. When you suddenly laugh, you are smart. I know I'm a lazy person. I don't like managing so many people. Even the million-dollar base admits we're the owners. I don't have to leave it to you to manage. Chen said in a hurry. As long as there are orders we dare not listen to. Just you can protect the safety of the million-weapon base. We meet all your requirements. Even if it's food, weapons, ammunition, even women. We will all give. I'm going to write some great long stories. Remember to watch and see. It's so hard to do right now to piss me off. My sister did more. Marketing link show Nam products on top channel. Remember the top channel. Please see if any product is suitable for you. Instead of finding and locking the product itself, then look in my sister's shopping cart and place an order to support my sister. My sister is very grateful. Tran Still Quang gritted his teeth. There are many beautiful women in our base. If you don't blame someone else's wife, you can. He hurriedly interrupted Chen. Don't be a woman. Trong Yi thought silently. The people in the house are enough to keep him busy. And he's not interested either. To disrupt the family happiness of others. Chen calmly looked at Zhang Yi. His eyes were filled with supplication. Smile, Yang. Now you understand. How big of a disaster have I caused? I have a sad face, I know. I was too impulsive. Leaning against the sofa. Speak softly. Let me be the owner of the million-dollar base. It doesn't matter. Give me the key to the million-weapon shelter. Million Vu base has two core parts. One is the fleet. The rest is an underground shelter. The shelter has a special key. Only if you have the key can you open the door. In other words, only the eyes hold the keys to the shelter. Then that person is actually the owner of the shelter. This story is known from the sky. Tran Tin Quang did not hesitate. He reached out and pulled out a black metal box from the jacket pocket. Put it in front of Zhangji. The epidemic had seen the key to the shelter. Tran Tin Quang could not fool him. This is a black box. There are 3 keys inside. He holds one in his hand. And Kier gave it to Trong Yi. What this means is, after that, the door to the Million Vu base will be completely open. Welcome to Trong Dui. To receive the key and the controller. He looked at the ceiling and asked. 3 keys managed by you alone. Tran Tin Quan continued. Normally, the keys are kept by Ba. Just plug them all into the tray. Plug the key card in the box. Can gain control of the shelter's large doors. Because there is no AI left, all the keys are in my hands. Zhang looked closely for a moment and said, Okay, I get it. Then the controller disappears in the palm of your hand. Into the hyperspace. Tran Tin Quang's face seemed to take off the burden. He bowed his head deeply, thanking you, Chief. The military has officially taken over the military base. Continue to translate. The daily management of the Million Vu base. You are still in charge. There is something I will tell you to do. Tran Still Kwong gave a smile yes. He once again found the feeling of being a deputy. He still doesn't have the guts to be a leader. I think the boss is best for him. Tran Quan asked in a hurry. What are we going to do next? Back to Thien Hai City. Or find opportunities for people in the city. Grand Trach Kier City. I told him we would naturally deal with this. Waiting for my orders. After returning to Tian Hai City, I will give it to you. Chen still saw Zhang Yi's confident expression. It's safe now. I've been in contact with Zhang for so long. He understands Zhang's style of work. So he didn't ask any more. Bow in front of Zhang Yi deeply. Then left Zhang Yi's room. I went before the chief. Hand told to bear static drill. You go, do your job. Zhanjing doesn't care at all. To the rumors, LAN is transmitting outside. People who are really strong will have a very stable mind. The jokes of the clowns. It just makes him laugh. The next day, Bak Zuan Vu arrived. Member of this angel squad suddenly appeared in the apartment, has caused quite a few people to stir. Look at the angel company. He's looking for someone, look at that. Seems to be looking for a group of people from Tianhai City. Week Kier. Tianjin City 2 days ago. He was pointed at the nose. The angels sent someone to find them. Maybe there's something wrong. There are 6 investigation teams, are the internal fighting agencies of the Blizzard City. Many people have been in contact with them. I know how scary they are. White Spring Vu came to find Trong Yi, who is not quiet. Hadn't said a word before. In front of the mutants in the city. Dai Zak City. It's even more difficult for people to understand. White Spring Dance doesn't care about their speculation. Go straight to Zhang Yi's residence. I'm going to write some great long stories. Remember to watch and see. It's so hard to do right now to piss me off. My sister did more. Marketing. Link show Nam products on top channel. Remember the top channel. Please see if any product is suitable for you. Instead of finding and locking the product itself, then look in my sister's shopping cart and place an order to support my sister. My sister is very grateful.